No, don't do that. Like, no, are you trying to kill me? Hey guys, it's Olivia, and in today's video, as you can see from the title, I will be telling you all the story of how I almost died in the Bahamas. So, let's get on with the video. Alright, so this story happened about 2 years ago when me, my best friend, my mom and my dad, and my best friend's grandma all went on a carnival cruise. But there was this one part that I'm gonna tell you where things did not go that well. Alright, so just some background info. We went to 2 islands, and this was about a 3-4 day cruise, and everything was good until this point. First place we went to was Freeport, and the second place was Nassau. And Freeport was good, nothing bad happened, had a great time, went to some little shops, and it was really good. So we got off on the first island, like I said, was Freeport, and that went well. And then like a day or so later, it's kind of blurry, but a day or so later we went to Nassau, and we got off the boat, and I looked around, and there was like people dressed up in like feathery costumes. So yeah, we saw these people, and there was tropical music playing. It was really hot out. There was like palm trees everywhere. It was a nice breeze. So we all start walking except my dad. My dad stayed on the cruise because he was like gambling or something. He was having trouble with his foot, so he just stayed on the cruise while the 4 of us went on the island. And keep that in mind. So it's just me, my best friend, my mom, and her grandma. So the next thing, we walked into this kind of basically the town area. There's a bunch of shops again, and there's people selling stuff. We had heard about a beach that we really wanted to go to, because one signature thing about the Bahamas is their aqua clear waters, and that's really what we were wanting to see. So this beach was not near the area where this town was at, and we couldn't walk there. It was not a walking distance. So people would get taxis, and they would come by and pick you up and take you to the beach. So after we walked around, that was our plan. We started waiting for a taxi, and we look around, everyone's getting picked up, having a good old time, going wherever they're going, whatever, you know. And so we are waiting and waiting and waiting. This was red flag number 1. We kept on waiting. And it was about 30 minutes. And I remember there was this one family that was with us originally, and they just stopped waiting and got a different taxi. Man, should we have went with them. And so finally our taxi gets there. It's this maybe 30s middle-aged man. He wasn't like super old, but he also wasn't super young. And I specifically remember his name was Oliver. And so all 4 of us got in this van, taxi. It was like a grayish van, whatever, just trying to paint that picture, you know. So we all get in, and there's like 2 other families with us. There's like this couple, and then there was also this family with these 2 kids. So he's like asking us where we want to go, and we're like, hey, we want to go to the beach. And that's where every single one of us wanted to go. So we tell this guy, Oliver, yeah, we want to go to the beach. So he starts driving us away from this town area, and we get starting on the route. And about after maybe 15 minutes, we're getting kind of sketched out. Because first of all, it's 15 minutes and all we've seen is like these run down, broken buildings. Like, I cannot describe how run down this was. I mean, if there was any other way to get to this beach, this was definitely the most sketchy. So we start looking around, and I'm kind of looking at my mom and my best friend, and I'm like, okay, but you know, that's fine. And honestly, at one point I was like, alright, I'm getting kidnapped. Fun. That's literally just a way to describe how scared I was. I was like freaking out. And so we just keep on riding for another 15 minutes. And it's still the same sketchy, broken down, crumbling buildings. There's people walking in the middle of the street, even though there's like a 45-mile-an-hour van going. So as we're going down this sketchy road or whatever, this Oliver guy is playing his Jamaican music. No offense to anyone out there. Just trying to add them details, you know. So he's just playing this Jamaican music, and he starts talking to us, and he's like, so where you guys want to go? And I'm like, what? Come again? What? And at that moment, I was really contemplating everything. I was like, we want to go to the beach. We were all like trying to be nice, but like the moment we heard that, we were like, okay, there's a problem. So we keep telling him, we want to go to the beach, we want to go to the beach, blah blah. I thought of Nicki Minaj. Comment down below if you know what song I'm talking about. But anyways, so he's like, you want to go shopping? And we're like, no, we just want to go to the beach. And he's like, shopping, like the mall? And I'm like, no, we just want to go to the beach. And this goes on for maybe 10 minutes. Anyways, and we're just getting really frustrated. And I remember at the end there was this one part where he's explaining about this canal that's like really deep on the side when you're looking out the window. I'm going to show you guys a clip in a moment that'll show you him saying that in the video, and it'll also show you us on the way to the beach. You can see it in the distance. So we'll play that clip right now.
Give us a sea breeze. Okay, now I can show you. I can draw an illustration to you before you get to the beach. Now that's what they call the canal.
So now that you've seen that clip, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And so we finally get to this beach. But before we could go to the beach, we had to go in this weird like hotel. This weird ass hotel. And I don't know why we went in this hotel, but we did. So everyone got out of the van. Everything was perfectly fine. We were alright at this point, or at least we thought. I mean, we were better than what was to come, so that's a plus. And so we get in this hotel, and this is where we supposedly have to pay. And one thing I forgot to mention was that when we had originally left, this guy told us that it was going to be about maybe $20-$30 for all four of us, for the ride there and the ride back. And so we were like, yeah, that's a good deal, like, good. So we walk into the hotel, and there's this lady at front, and she's telling us $65. We had to pay more than we were told. Like, red flag number 2, question mark. And I remember the look on my mom's face. My best friend's grandma. Oh man, were they triggered. Triggered. They just looked like that look. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And so, this is getting weirder by the moment. And so finally, after maybe 20 minutes of us kind of arguing, / trying to get these people to let us go to the beach. Once we finally were able to pay like a normal person, we are ready to get to the beach. But before that happens, we're told that we're gonna have to walk. It was a pretty good distance, and my best friend's grandma like has troubles with her legs sometimes. So I was like, you know, like we paid you $65 to take us to the beach. You're not telling me that you're not gonna actually take us. You're gonna make us walk. And as we were kind of complaining about this, he was just casually smoking a cigar. And so that was like red flag number 3. So we get in the van. He's like, I'm not supposed to do this, but I can drop you off near the beach, but not on the beach. So we're like, okay, good. So he drops us off, and after that, we stayed there for maybe 2 or 3 hours. This part was amazing. The water was so pretty, and it was just a really, really good time. So eventually we were gonna have to go back to the boat, or we're gonna get left. And I remember that the time to board back on the boat was maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. I believe it was 4 o'clock. And at this point it's about 3, maybe 2, 3, around there. We're all sunburnt, we're tired, we're hot, we're like, okay, we want to get back on the boat. So what the guy, Oliver, had told us was that when we're at a little hotel and call, and he'll come pick us up. So we do that. It takes him about 30 minutes to get there because he went on the same route. He gets there finally, and some of the people that had come with us didn't go back with us the same time that we did because they were on a different cruise ship, different time and all that. So this time it was the 4 of us, and then there was the 2 kids and their mom, or I believe it was their mom, I don't know. But that one couple that I had mentioned in the beginning wasn't there with us. We get in the van, and he's taking us back this raunchy, sketchy route. And at this point, I'm just really excited to get back on the boat. I'm like, okay, let's go. I want to get on the boat. I want some food. I'm hungry. Let's leave. Everything's going fine. I'm just like, okay, it's almost over. We're okay. Like, we're gonna do this. It's about 15 minutes into it. And one thing I need to mention is the fact that the roads are opposite of those that are in the U.S. If you're in the U.S., then you know that when you're driving, you are on the right side of the road, and the cars coming towards you are on the left side of the road. In the Bahamas, it was switched. So we were on the left side of the road, and the other cars were on the right side of the road. We're driving, or riding, in this van, and there's this really, 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 really slow car in front of us. Like, grandma slow, but worse. It was really pitiful. It was like snail slow. Just keep that in your mind. So this Oliver guy decides to do something real cute, real cute. Riding in this car, and he decides to swerve around this car about 50 miles an hour. He just goes, no, don't do that. Like, no, are you trying to kill me?